Okay.
Perfect. Well, we're gonna get that taken care of today. Terry, I'm gonna put you back into the audience and just want to say thank you for allowing us to use your website. Yusuf, if you'd like to share your screen, we're just gonna jump in on here and allow yourselves to be served. We are now gonna just jump into the content. So my name is Frank Salas. I go by the name of the talented Mr. Salas. I serve those with talent by transforming them into thought leaders. And thought leaders don't run in solo. They run with packs. And somebody in my pack and somebody whose pack that I'm in is Yusuf. Yusuf's my boy and fellow Texan from San Antonio. He's just down the street from me when I'm in America in Austin, Texas. And I found Yusuf through Periscope, and he just gave literally a world-class lecture for free on Periscope. And I saw he was doing that on Periscope to build his brand while he was pitching corporate executive CEOs in San Antonio, building his business. I'm like, this guy's a genius. This guy gets it. This guy's headed towards the money, picking up the fame. I love this guy. So without further ado, Yusuf, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and let's jump into today's masterclass.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Talented. Well, I mean, you already did the introduction. I mean, I do have my own digital marketing firm. We build websites. We do web development. We have services like the SEO and social media, but my personal true passion is in coaching and training. So I coach advertising agencies, entrepreneurs and startup companies on how to utilize online marketing to take their business to the next level. Okay, so that's about it from me. Let's focus on you guys. Okay, especially Terry. She needs some help because I looked at her website and I logged in and I was about to have a heart attack. Okay, so let's go ahead and simplify that for you. Okay. What I want to do first, let me share the screen. How can I share the screen? Let's see.
There's a green button down below. By the way, where's everybody logging in from? Type in the comments below. Tell us where you're from, what your business is, if you have a blog, if not, as we get this all set up.
Okay, so desktop one is mine, right? Okay, let's see, there you go. I'll see it now? We
see it.
Excellent. So if I'm too fast, please stop me, okay? So I'm gonna go step by step. I'm gonna also talk about different things. Now, before we start, when it comes to blogging, there are a few questions you have to ask. The first one is, what is the purpose of the blogging, right? What is the purpose of the blogging, and why do you want to blog? And I think the answer is two. The most important reason is because your target market, your audience, or customers. What happens is that if you provide them with amazing content like how to, or you explain something to them, or you give them something of high value, automatically by default, you can be considered an expert in your area. Does that make sense? So you don't have to tell them you're an expert. The fact that you're sharing it, and people that are interested in your product and services, and they find it and they read from you and they learn from you and they apply what you're teaching them, you automatically become an expert. That's the first reason. The second reason is, in order for the search engine, like the Google, the Yahoo, and the Bing, in order for the software to give you some sort of boost or ranking or some sort of exposure, you constantly or consistently have to put some content on your website. Because if you don't do that, then your website becomes a dead website. Does that make sense? So it helps in both ways. So that's why it's very important that any website, any business you have, you should have some sort of consistent content added at least minimum every week. And that can be done through blogging. I mean, you can call it news page, you can call it article page, you can call it blog page, whatever you want to call it, as long as it provides content on a consistent basis. That's what you need to focus on. Okay, we all agree on this? All right.
We got a lot of people on the call right now. We got Tracy in New Jersey, Dakota in San Antonio, Tina in Las Vegas. And people say they want to get credibility. They want to be an expert. They want to rank for more conversion and sales, and of course, more exposure. So Marnie says she's good with it. Tina says she's cool with it. We can move on.
Sweet. Okay. So let's do this. If you have any question, feel free to ask. So of course, before you log into the website, you always, when you build the website on the WordPress, let me remove this. And I'm saying this because a lot of people still don't know how to get in. So the first thing you do when you go to your website, you need to make sure that after the .com, you see your domain address, .com, you always have to put /wp-admin, okay? WP-admin, that means WordPress-administrator. That's how you log in. So you need to have your username and password. So I already did that. That's how I'm able to log into the screen, okay? So there you go. You all see in the screen, this is the dashboard behind WordPress, okay? Now, just for you to understand the way WordPress is built, this platform, in WordPress, the home page by default is the blog page. Okay, the home page by default, it is the blog page, which means if you want to post content, the front page will be a bunch of blog posts. Okay, so some businesses, what they do, you can actually move that home page or change the name to something else and move it to a different navigation bar. So the home page can be a video, a lead capture, or something else. You can do that. But by default, WordPress, the home page is the blog page. That's the first thing. Secondly, by design in WordPress, you cannot have more than one blog pages. What I mean by that, on the navigation bar, if you have, let's say, a page about talking, let's say for Frank, if he has a page talks about outsourcing, all the blog posts about outsourcing. Page number 2, business consultation, all the blog posts about business consultation. By design, you can't do that. But there's a workaround. There is a way you can have different blog posts as a page on a navigation bar. Okay, we can talk about that later. But just so you know, by design, you cannot have more than a blog page. So what is a blog page? A blog page is a page where you have your blog post. Does that make sense? A static page, like about the company, the static. You're not putting a bunch of contents on the same place. Testimonial page, that is static. Contact us. These are all considered a static page, right? A blog page, when I click on it, I can see a bunch of blog posts. Does that make sense? If y'all say yes, go ahead and answer yes. If it doesn't make any sense, let me know. Okay.
So Yusuf, maybe let me bounce it back a different way so it could really stick with the audience. So right now, when you open up a WordPress website, it's the first time logging in, automatically that first page is your blog post, correct? And then if you want to change that around, you can add different tabs, different navigation tools to make it where it's like, you know, the home page, the about page, the services page, and the blog page. But then in the blog page, for somebody who is multi-talented like myself, I can have a blog underneath that blog page about outsourcing, public speaking, social media consulting, so on and so forth, correct?
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. So I just want people to understand that, because I know this is very simple concept, but I still see when I do a lot of workshop, people still get confused between why I can't have multiple pages as a blog page and whatnot. Just, I want you to understand the difference, right? So the homepage by default is the blog page. You cannot have more than one blog pages on the navigation, but there is a workaround that you can have multiple. So when you log into the dashboard, this is what you're gonna see. So based on the theme that Terry has this, I mean, there's some additional option, like, Visual Composer, all these are additional. By default, you're not gonna see these, okay? So let's not worry about that. What we need to focus on, when I go to theme, and I'll be honest with you, this is a theme called the B theme. I am honestly did not have too much experience with it. I heard good thing about it, but for today's session, because I want to teach you the basic, I want you to understand the basic, I'm gonna use another theme so we can work on it for right now, okay? Later on, if you do part 2, we can talk about a specific B theme, because I know Terry is using a B theme, and B theme, they got like a bunch of other awesome themes, but I'm not too familiar with it because they have so many options, and because of our timing, we're gonna just stick with the main topic today, okay? So for now, I'm gonna choose a theme called Catchbox, okay? Because the objective of the website that you want to create this website as a content-based website. So what do I mean by content-based website? If you look at this is one of my clients' websites called Asperger 101. If you look at this website, it is considered a content-based because the homepage has nothing but blog posts or content, right? They're coming here to learn, and it's a content-based website. Does that make sense? A retail-based website, for example, let me show you. Let's see. This is one of my clients here. So, oops, I'm sorry. Now, what is wrong with this?
So while you're getting that pulled up, just so we're clear, a content-based website is something that has blogs and maybe videos, graphics on the very homepage as soon as you log in, correct?
Correct. Correct. If you look at Michael Hyatt, Marie Forleo, Amy Porterfield, or, you can see the front is a bunch of content. So this is the Sage Geriatric, for example. This one is more like a retail, more like a business site, because you have the the slider, you have the call to action, there are a couple of information up front, there's a lead capture, but you don't see the blog here. The blog has its own page, right? It's on the top right there. The blog is on the far left right there, and they also have a chat system too. So this is like more like a retail based, but for us today, we're gonna make something similar to content based, which is this one. See, it's more like a content based website. So I'm installing this theme called the Catchbox. It's completely free. Once I install this theme, you all know how to do that, right? You just preview the theme and you click activate, and it will automatically do that for you. And whatever content you created before, let's say you created the about page, service page, the seminal pages, you're not going to lose them. The only difference is the rearrangement can be changed. That means the layout might change, but the content itself is still going to be in the backend, okay? So let's go ahead and test that. I installed the Catchbox. Let me see how it looks when it's live, okay? I'm gonna open another browser for now, and let me see how it looks. There you go, a little bit of love, elder care, okay? So as you can see, there are a bunch of pages right here, okay? There is the name of the business, there's a search box, and this is where the coming soon plugin, but the home page by default, if I write a blog post, it will automatically show up there, okay? So what you need to do first, few things. First thing first, what you need to do, go to menus, okay? The first thing you need to do, you need to go to menus and make sure you have a menu created, okay? Look at the menu and make sure you have manage location, create a menu, call it anything you want. Call it menu one, call it what the heck you want, okay? Just give it a name, okay? Once you create that menu, you stop the name right here and click Save Menu. You go to Manage Location, and once you click on Manage Location, make sure that menu is selected. So I selected the primary menu. That means that's my navigation bar on my website. Every theme, remember, every theme, you might want to write this thing down. Every theme comes with a different menu sets, okay? Some come with the menu on the top, menu on the bottom, then menu on the right-hand side. And some that come with the photo menu, okay? But for now, to keep it simple, make sure you have the menu created, select the primary menu. Once you do that, once you select the main menu, now you have to go back to menu again, okay? Okay, you have to go back to menu. And this is where you can see all these pages. You see that? So you can have the about page, home page, service page, contact page. So let's see how it looks. I'm gonna click on, remember, always click on Save Menu. And remember, when you work on WordPress, have both of your tab open, the browser tab, have both of them are open so you can switch back and forth instead of clicking forward and backward, okay? So I'm gonna go to the live side, do a refresh. And now you see that? You see how nicely? See what happened to the pages here? Nicely done. Home, about, you know, you have like 5 pages. Very clean, very nice. Okay? Very nice. So this is how you have the pages. Now, if you want to change the position of the pages, all you have to do, go back to this appearance, click on the menu. Then let's say I'm going to move contact, just bring it up here. Okay? Bring it up here. Click Save Menu. All right? Click Save Menu. Then go back to the main live site. Do a refresh. Okay, do a refresh, and you can see it moves so easily. So easy. Isn't that beautiful? Now, okay, Yusuf, what if I want to have a subpage? No problem. Let's go back to appearance, go back to menu. Let's say about. I'm going to make the about, bring it up here, and make the contact as a subpage. Just move it a little bit on the right. You see what happened? It's called sub item. Click Save Menu. Okay, go back to the live website, refresh. And now look, you see that? It became a...
That was amazing. You're a magician.
I'm not a magician, dude. I'm just a regular dude. All right, so that's how you do it, okay? So let's go back to the blog post. Right on your left-hand dashboard, you will see post media pages. So the pages, these are for your static content, you know, testimonial, services, about, and whatnot. The post, this is where you're going to post your blog, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a page. I'm going to call it a blog. Okay, I'm going to call it a blog right now. Click pages. I can change any one of these. I can probably grab, let's see, I don't know. Let me just make one for the heck of it. I'm going to call it a, and this is a sample because Terry probably, she wants to have the front page with a bunch of blog posts. You can do that, okay? If you want to have the front page with the video and a lead capture, you can do that as well. So for example, I'm going to call it blog, okay? Publish. I'm going to ask the audience this question. So let's say I created this page. Now, where should I go to add the page in the menu? Let's see how everyone answers that. Let's see if anybody paying attention and not spending time on Facebook. Can someone tell me what should I do after I create the page called blog? Where should I go?
Yeah, so we just created this page. This is an actual blog post. This is really like a blog title. And so Dakota says appearance. Dakota is actually out in San Antonio as well.
Yeah, she's learning from me too.
Nice.
Okay. So you go to appearance, you go to menu. Okay, because once we created the pages, if you notice, I created this page, right? If I go to the live website and I do refresh, I'll be like, what the heck? What is the page? I just created it. Where did it go, right? So what happens, that's why you have to go back to the menu and you can see the blog page is right there. You see that? You select it, click add menu, and boom, there you go. Now I'm gonna click save menu, right? After I do that, go back, always go back to the main side, do a refresh, and let's see, boom, there you go, okay? But the only problem right now, if I click on that blog page, it's a static page, which means I cannot have a bunch of, well, actually, hello, oh, there you go, by default, oh, that's perfect. Look at all these blog posts automatically got added to the blog page. I guess Terry already did that, okay, that's good. So there you go. So that's a blog page, which means every time I post something, I go to the posts, right? And there you go. These are all blog posts. So that means the blog post will show up on the blog page. How did that happen? Let me show you something real quick. Go to settings, okay? Then click on reading. And here you will see, there you go. So this is where you can make the home page static if you want to. Right now, she made the home page coming soon, and make any other page as a blog post. So I can select blog as my page for the blog post. Does that make sense? And the front page can be the home page. I can call it home. I can call it anything. I can have a video there. I can have a MailChimp lead capture, and that's it.
Can we slow down real quick? And then, so go back to like just one step behind. So where it says post page, that means every time that we make a new post, those posts will go to that page. So if we took post page and changed it to contact me, all of our new posts that we would get by clicking on the top left where the little thumbtack is would go to contact me. Okay, cool.
Correct. So this is how you make the blog page a blog page, and the front page, anything you want. You can make the video as a front page. You can make the contact as a front page. This is where you're going to come in and do that. It looks like Terry already did that. Good job, Terry, okay? And that's it. So this is where you're going to move the pages where you want to position them. So if you create a blog page, you come to settings, go to readings, and select post page is blog. That means every time I post, it will show up under the blog page. All the posts will show up under the blog page itself. So right here, you see that?
So I'm going to go off memory and let's see if I got this correctly. So first, there's several ways to skin a cat, but this is how I would do it. I would go to pages, create new, make a new blog post. Then I would go to appearances and I would add that blog page to the menu. And then I would go to settings, reading, post page, and change it to blog, and then I'm Gucci.
Correct, perfect. So now your blog page is set up to receive blog posts. So how can I post? You just go to the post right here. And anytime you run a new title, you write a new content, and you publish it, it will show up under the blog page by default. Okay? And these are all samples. These are just the fake samples, as you can see.
Right.
These are all fake samples.
They're for gazies.
Yeah. So let's talk about right now. If anybody has a question, let me know before I move forward, because right now I'm going to talk about the strategy and how to blog effectively. So before I move forward, let me know if y'all have any questions.
This was super simple, and like I think I might fire my web developer and just like only do this. Like he's gone. I know everything now.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Just show some mercy, man. Okay. So let me know if anyone has any questions.
It looks like we're good. People might be like following along and just getting their setup.
Perfect.
Tracy's like, send your web developer to me.
Okay. So next thing is when you do a blog post, of course you come with the like posting the blog is not hard. You just click on add new.
Hey Yusuf, real quick, we have a few questions. Is this WP.org or WP.com?
Excellent question. Very popular, very common. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to throw myself on a train. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me explain to you. WordPress.com is the free version. It's a complete free version. Let me show you. This is the WordPress.com. I don't recommend that for business. I mean, if you have kids, you wanna have your kids to learn how to blog, you can have them sign up with WordPress.com. Okay, it's a free version. The difference is you are within the WordPress platform. That means you don't have a full control. You cannot have a custom theme. You cannot add different plugins. You cannot have a full control over it. Okay, the one that you are working on, we call it self-hosted WordPress. What does that mean? You get the domain name from a domain provider. You have a web hosting, let's say Bluehost, SiteGround, and whatnot, and you just install the application of WordPress. That is called self-hosted WordPress. Now, why do people ask WordPress.com and WordPress.org? WordPress.com is the service, is a free service, right? WordPress.org is not a service. WordPress.org is a community-based website, which means when you go there, they have a forum, they have information about the plugins and the themes. That's what it's for. They don't provide the service. What WordPress.org tells you to do is to go to Bluehost. They tell you to go to Bluehost and sign up with them, get the hosting, and download the WordPress application and upload it. But they themselves don't provide it. Does that make sense? WordPress has an affiliate program with Bluehost. That's why they promote them, because for every transaction they get a commission. Just like nHost get a Bluehost and a SiteGround. If somebody sign up under your affiliate link, you get paid like $50 per transaction. So the proper way of saying it is this the free version or the self-hosted? When you talk about self-hosted, that means I got the domain from GoDaddy, I got the hosting from SiteGround, and I use WordPress application to build a site. That is called self-hosted, and you have full control. You have full control. You have full ownership. If you hire a WordPress developer, they can customize the website the way you want it. If your business grows, if you have an e-commerce website, you want to grow it, you can take it to the next level. But you cannot do that with the WordPress.com. Does that make sense?
It makes complete total sense. And just to clarify, so WordPress.com would give you like a funny website like or talentedfranksalas.wordpress.com or something like that. And
something like that. Even though they add a new feature where you can add your domain to make it look like talentedfranksalas.com, but on the back end is always franksalas.wordpress.com.
Right, and that's not the best for your SEO, your searchable terms. It just doesn't look good, and people would find out pretty quickly that you're not investing in your business, and they wouldn't take you seriously, correct?
In a way, I mean, I would say in a way, because some businesses don't even know. But like I said, if you want to have your kids or somebody wants to learn blogging, sign them up with this one, have them get used to it. Some people use it as a strategy. For example, you have the self-hosted WordPress website. You can create another version of a content-based website within your niche under the WordPress.com and kind of set up some sort of backlink to your site. That can also help because the WordPress.com has a lot of audience. Does that make sense? But I wouldn't tell any businesses to go with the .com.
Definitely. Dakota out in San Antonio asks, can you change the theme and still have your content stay the same?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can change the theme a million times. The content will still stay there. The only difference is you will notice that it might break a little bit because the layout is different. But if you log in on the back end and dig in, you will see that all the content are still there. So you just have to go back and rearrange it and tweak it and fix it.
Awesome. Okay. Final question, and let's move on. This is from Craig Myers, and he was going to use WordPress, but the notification page says that it didn't sound safe to him because third-party sites can see everything about you. So that's why he doesn't use WordPress. What do you say to that?
That is incorrect. I mean, I don't know what notification you got. Let me explain to you something real quick. WordPress is built by an open source community like Linux. Okay, it's an open source community. So that's one benefit. That means you have a lot of developers, a lot of people engaging and volunteering to make this better. In fact, the founder's vision was to have everyone use this for free. Okay, but later on, of course, with development and selling and whatnot, you have all these so-called selling premium themes and whatnot. It came out later on, but eventually that's what it was. And secondly, WordPress actually, if you remember, Frank, I think it was in 2014 or 15, I don't remember which year, that almost 80% of the WordPress website were hacked. Like, what? Yeah, they were hacked, but how? If you find out the way they were hacked from the lowest and the most weakest point, and that is the username and password. If WordPress was not secure, why these so-called bots and hackers couldn't log in from anywhere, like through coding, through breaking the script? They did it from the username and password. And what was the username and password? Username admin, password. That's easy. Does that make sense?
Right.
So by default, no, it's not. I don't want to say it's not secure. I think most of the time it's the user's ability that they are not making it secure. Secondly, you have so many awesome plugins out there, like Sakuri, which is specifically a plugin, and it's a company that is specialized in keeping your website secure from malware, and a firewall service and stuff like that. So you can install those, because in the internet, bro, I mean, there's nothing 100% secure. Okay, there's no such thing as 100% secure. Does that make sense? But WordPress, no, WordPress is fine. I mean, you can expand on it, and they've been updating. They've been adding so many features. You have an amazing community locally. If you go to meetup.com and look for WordPress community, you'll have a lot of these developers that are always there willing to help you. In fact, next month, we're going to have our second conference for WordCamp. This is where all the developers, all the businesses and entrepreneurs are going to get together, give classes and workshop. And the WordCamp is an event organized by WordPress as a nonprofit. So I wouldn't say don't go for that. I think you should give it a shot.
That is amazing. Okay, cool. So I want to say welcome to people that are still on here, and Alina Smith, who just joined us. We just got on how to do the setup, but now we're going to show people how to do a blog post. All right, so you got your blog post already set up. You went to the coffee shop. You know, for me, I have a cigar and an espresso and a nice view, and I like to, you know, write in my little journal with my fancy little pens and stuff and my cotton paper. Like, I make it an experience for me. When I write blog posts, guys, like, I want to be in such a creative, giving place, and I can't do that without me feeling like amazing in whatever that looks like to me at that moment in time. And most of the time when I write a blog post, I'll go out and make it an experience. So when I do write, people will convey or people will pick up what I'm conveying, because I'm really pushing through. Like, you can tell when somebody half-assed a blog post, and you can tell when somebody's like super passionate, like, you guys have to do this. You guys must go down this way. So I encourage you to write in that fashion, because it'll convey so much more, and you'll create raving fans that love all your quirks. Like, when I'm on a rant and I'm saying like hella and bro and cool and chill and chillax and relax, people are like, yes, I say the same things. I love this kid. So I just want to encourage you guys there. So you're at that point, you got it all written out, you copy and paste it over here, or you transcribe it here, and now you're going to post it up. Yusuf, what's the next steps?
Okay, so next step, let's say you set up the blog page and you know where you need to go to post. So this is how you post. You click on the post. Here's the title. I'm just going to call it test. And this is where you're going to put all the content. I'm just putting a bunch of gibberish. And right here, if you click this option, it gives you a few things, like, you know, how to make the color of the text different, maybe the align center and whatnot. These are some of the stuff that you find in a Word document. Okay, not fully, but it has a few features. But unfortunately, I don't see any option for making the font bigger or having a different, font style, right? In order to get that, all you have to do, you go to plugins, okay? You go to plugins. You go to plugins and look for, I'm gonna click add new and do a search for tiny, excuse me. Let's see, MCE. let me see if I can find this. Tiny MCE, TINY MC. There you go, right here. TINY MCE Advanced. See this? If you all see this one right here, okay. I'm just gonna go and install this right now. Okay, and always activate. So once I look for the TINY MCE Advanced, I install it, I activate it, and after activated, I need to go back to settings. Okay, y'all follow me? I need to go back to settings, and from there it says Tiny MCE Advanced. I'm gonna click on that. Then I'm going to drag the format of the font right here. I'm gonna drag, let's see, what else? The background color maybe behind the font.
And this was free. There was no charge for this.
Yeah, this is completely free.
Amazing.
What else I can put? I guess that's about it. The font, the format. What about the size? Where does the size go? Okay, for now that's it. Then I'm gonna click Save Changes. Okay, going back to the post. Okay, this is a test we did. Going back to the post, and right now, if I click on the see, now I have a font size. See that? I have a font size.
Hey, that's amazing.
I also have some of the font style. Okay.
I like how they're called font family.
Yeah. So you're gonna write your content right here. And my recommendation when you write any blog post, make sure you don't write less than 300 or more words. Okay. If you want to start with 250, that's fine, but eventually make sure you write more awesome content. And the way you organize it, try to break it down into paragraph or subheadings, because it makes it easier for your readers to see exactly the kind of topic they're going to go through. Don't write everything in one section like a notepad. I mean, you got to have a paragraph, spaces, headlines, header 1, header 2, make it look clean. And always make sure that when you blog, make sure you add an image that is going to be attached to that blog post. Add an image that is relevant, because we as a human being, we are actually visual. We are more visual than just looking at the title of the blog post. Okay, and if you want to get images, there is a way that you can get it through Google image search, but you have to be very careful for the copyright issue. You don't want to just grab any images. You have to make sure that the images you're getting for free online has something we call it Creative Commons license. Okay, it has to have a Creative Commons license so you can put that image on your blog post. Another option is if you want to invest in images, you can always go to 123rf.com, and you can buy any images for like $1 or $2 in any topic, and they're very affordable. Okay, because to make your blog stand out, you have to make sure that your images that you put on your blog post is attracting. If it's something organic, like Frank, I mean, he's having fun in the beach. If he can take a picture of himself in the beach, that's even more authentic. Okay, he's gonna be attached to that. Now, if you want to add an image that will show up within the blog post, there's a feature right here on the bottom right that says featured image. This is where you're gonna upload the image that is going to be attached to that blog post. So, for example, if I take this image right here, I'll insert it right now. Okay, and this is the blog post, testing for life, whatever. If I'm going to publish this, okay, let's see how it looks on the blog page. Oh, there you go. You see that? Looks nice, right? You have the title right here. You have an image that is attached to the blog post. And of course, you have the copy right here. And what you also need to do when it comes to the content on the bottom, for example, one of the mistakes that I see a lot of bloggers do, that they write the whole blog on that particular page, like the whole thing, then I'm going to see the second one after that. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is have the title, an image, and a short snippet. So for example, let me show you what I'm going to do. Let's say this is my blog content with like 500 words, for example. Okay, let me see. Let me do something real quick.
And while you're getting that set up, so the reason that you want to have the title, the image, and the short snippet of what it is that you're talking about is because you want to get people to really invest in that and to not get distracted. So let's say they like that image, they click on it. Now they're going to dedicate the next 7 to 9 minutes to read your blog post. One of the things that I like to do at the very top of my blog post is say, this is a 7-minute read. This is a 4-minute read. This is a 12-minute read. So people know, okay, I got 7 minutes. I got 12 minutes. And they can just go down there and really invest and get the value from that particular page. Also, it looks a lot cleaner. And the snippet is kind of like a teaser. It's like, lose 20 pounds today without changing your diet. Click here to find out how. They're like, oh, I've got to click there.
Correct. And as you can see, amazingly, you see that? This is like, for example, this is let's say 500 words right here. So typically what happens right now, if you go to the blog post, you see that? Continue reading more. See this option?
See it.
That's what I mean by having you don't want to have the whole thing up front. And it looks like this theme by default has that feature, but before they didn't have that. Before, I had to go through an option here, and there you go. This one, you see this one right here? Insert read more tag. See that?
Right.
Right here. So what happened, every time you put continue to read more or read more, do not put it at the end of a sentence. Put it at the middle of the sentence. For example, and Frank went to the beach by riding his canoe, and suddenly he saw a shark. And then continue reading. Okay, because when you put in the middle of the sentence, or when you say like then or at, it creates that curiosity for somebody like, man, what the heck? Let me click this and read what's going on, right? So you don't want to put the read after a full sentence. You got to put in the middle. It's like so I'm reading, I'm excited, and suddenly it cut me off. I'm gonna have to click read more so I can read the most of the information. That is the strategy behind it. Because I've seen bloggers, they do that. They're writing a small paragraph, it's a full sentence, and somebody can even find the answer in that paragraph, so they're not going to even click the whole page, the whole blog post. So it's better to put in the middle of the sentence, click reading more, and that's it. And this is how you do it from here. Okay?
There's a type, and that's automatic. That's not through.
On this theme, I think they made some update. It became automatic right now, but still you have to go back and customize it. Because if it's automatic, basically it's going to pick up from anywhere. But if you want to, there you go. If you want to make it like custom, then you can go back there and just put the mouse here, for example, like that, and click insert, and there you go.
That's awesome.
Then you click update. Okay? And make sure you have headers in the blog post. Make sure at the end of the blog post, you have some sort of call to action. Like, if you enjoy reading this, comment below, or if you disagree, comment below, or if you like this, click share. Does that make sense? One of the things that we noticed in this blog, you have the title, you have the image, you have continue to read more, you have the comment box, which is very, very important. But the problem is there is one ingredient missing from this blog post. Can someone tell me what? Very important ingredient.
I'm going to say an opt-in, some kind of content upgrade where people can say, like, click here for my 7 resources to growth hack.
That is good. That is excellent. That is excellent strategy to capture more emails. But there's something else very important every blogger should have. Look at this as a blog post. Let's say this is a blog title. I'm reading this thing. There's a comment box, but there's something very, very important missing.
Where'd the image go?
The image, because the image is part of the feature image. It's not right here. If you want to add the image in the content itself, you have to go back to right here. You can add it in the content itself.
Nice. Okay, I understand. That's cool. Okay. So,
can somebody tell me what is missing for your content? Remember, you want content to be spread out, right? To be shared, correct?
Yeah, so they're saying contact me is what the crowd's saying. We got Mitch and Terry. Dakota says keywords.
Okay. What else?
Social share buttons from Rachel's page.
There you go.
Here.
Yes.
Mitch
the
says
social sharing is missing. Yes. So we need to go back to the plugins and add a shareable social media sharing. Why? Because if your target audience likes it, you do want them to share it, right?
Absolutely.
That's how you get your content distributed everywhere, because you don't want your content to be just on your website for people to read it only. You want them to share it, and you have to make it easier for them. If you don't make it easier for them, they're not going to have a time to copy and paste. Trust me, they're not going to do that, because we're very lazy when it comes to online stuff. Okay, so I'm going to look for Shareaholic. There's so many plugins out there. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. As long as it does the job, then I'm going to pick Shareaholic for right now. Okay, you can pick anyone that suits you or you feel more comfortable with, but make sure that in the Shareaholic option, you need to make sure that your audience are able to share it in Facebook, and Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Google+, those kind of areas. Okay.
A free plugin.
It's also a free plugin called Shareaholic. I'm installing it right now. I activated it, and there's a few features we need to make sure we adjust. For example, I'm going to the Get Started. I need to make sure that there are a few things I need to disable, because I only want the shareable button only on my blog post pages. I don't want it to be on the pages. Does that make sense? So I'm going to disable related and promoted content. This is a feature that can bring you some spam, so I remove that. Share button, I want to make sure it's below the post, but not the page, not the index, and not the category, just below the page. Okay, I'm going to click Save Changes.
And so right there where it says below content, that means somebody has to go through the whole post first to share. And the reason you do is because you want them to invest in that post, correct?
You're correct, because if you put on the front, on the top, on the sidebar, first it's a distraction, and secondly, you do want them to read the whole thing. Right. Does that make sense? So let's go and refresh it right now and see what happens. There you go. See that? That
is amazing. Did that add it on the left as well? On the left right there, do we see? Is that?
Yeah, so if you go back somewhere in the settings.
Which isn't a bad thing.
It has to be somewhere in the setting we can actually disable it.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. I kind of like it, but somebody might want to change that.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, huh?
And so automatically, they'll go ahead and click on Twitter, and that'll engage the Twitter API, which is...
Yeah, right now, let's see if I'm going to click on Twitter. Let's say I'm the reader, and it goes to my Twitter. See?
Boom.
So your reader are the one going to share it on their channel, not for you. Does that make sense? If you blog post by yourself, you can go ahead and share it on your own channel if you want. But there's a plugin. I'm not going to have a time to go over, but there's a plugin I recommend everyone to use. If you're too busy, if you spend one weekend to write 4 blog posts, you can use this plugin called the CoSchedule. They're all seeing this?
Yeah, we can see it.
They have a free version and they have a paid version. So the cool thing about this plugin, it will schedule your content to be posted, let's say every Friday. But at the same time, you can have a custom social media post. What I mean by that, let's say I wrote a blog post and I want to tweet it. So I can have a Twitter message, like, check out my blog post and RT if you, whatever. And for Facebook, hey, click this blog post and click like if you want, So you can have a custom post for every social media that you have. And once the blog post goes automatically to your website, it will also automatically submit it to your social media channel.
That's such a powerful tool right now. We have a question from Dakota asking, can she use IFTTT in place of CoSchedule?
Yes, you can. That says if this, then that. That's what it is. Yeah. If this, then that.
And I believe.
This is an awesome. Oh my God. This is I can't believe the founder, the creator of this service. It is 100% free. Okay. The IFTT, again, that's a different subject, because IFTT, what it does, you can do so many crazy things, not just for social media. You can do stuff like if Frank is in, let's say in a beach, you can do event and have the system automatically add people in your Twitter and your Facebook and your Instagram. It does a lot of crazy stuff, but that's a totally different topic. Dakota. Okay, so we'll talk about that later if the audience wants to learn about that. Okay, so this is the IFTT. Okay.
For sure. So CoSchedule is a powerful tool. I know a powerful resource is an RSS feed, and that's something that we can set up pretty quickly. I'm not sure if we'll have the time to go through it because we got about 10 minutes left before we to jump on here for this masterclass. But can you maybe just introduce us to RSS feeds?
Basic RSS feed, what it is, if I'm reading your blog and you have the RSS feed option, let's say I don't want to subscribe to your channel, I can just click the RSS feed. It will automatically sync to my browser. So every time you send a blog post, I can actually see it in my list of followers that I use RSS feed for. That's it. Does that make sense? It sends it to the RSS feed, and it shows in my browser. I can click on it. I can see what topic you have that I can read. I honestly recommend more that if your audience should really opt into your list. Okay? I want your audience to come to your website, put their name and email address. You grab their email list, because when you blog every week, you can send them once a month, or you can send every 2 weeks. That is more powerful than just the RSS feed. The RSS feed does help with some sort of search engine because your content is going to different places, but that's what it's for. Does that make sense? And technically, it's actually free. I don't know why they start to charge right now. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
And by default, you have an RSS feed by default through your website. Okay. Like if you go to your website.com/RSS feed, you will see a bunch of blog posts in the RSS feed, which stands for really syndicated something, right? That's what it stands for, Frank?
I don't really know what it stands for.
Right, it's like really syndicated something, yeah.
All I know is that when I publish content onto it, the way that I have my automation arranged with IFTTT is it's a real simple syndication is what Tracy says. And it's just like, if I put my blog post up, it'll go to Pinterest, it'll go to Tumblr, Blogger, Google+, all my different places where I syndicate my stuff. Mitch wants to know, what's a good opt-in list plugin?
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, there's so many. I mean, it depends. I mean, you have all these low-end services like Aweber, MailChimp, Constant Contact, iContact. Then you have a high-end like Lead Pages, ClickFunnels, ConvertKit. It really depends, because when you set up the opt-in, that depends on how you set it up. Like what kind of offer you're providing, how is the opt-in working with you when somebody put their name and email. Do they get a welcome page, and after that, do they get some sort of email every 5 days? All that setup, you can set it up on your those email marketing, the bulk email services. You can set it up and it goes out from there. They're all the same from my experience, but some of them have a little bit of different features here and there. So my suggestion is just try which one you like, and if you're happy with it, just stick with that one.
Yeah, Mitch, my recommendation is the same. There's so many opt-ins that are out there. Like I have Lead Pages, Insta Pages, I have ConvertKit, I have stuff that's plugged in on different websites. And at the end of the day, it just adds people to a list and it sends people there. So for example, for this webinar was done on Zoom. And this tells me if you registered for it, you're interested in blogging and you're probably in the beginning stages of your business. So I'm going to take that email list and put it into my ConvertKit and add some different tags saying interested in blogging, possible beginner entrepreneur or emerging entrepreneur. And then I can specifically tailor content that you would find interesting while maybe keeping a more seasoned entrepreneur on a different list that's more relevant to them, that would be leaps and bounds ahead of where you are in your journey right now. So that's kind of how I play the game, but I'm constantly tweaking my strategies.
Yeah, that's perfect. I like that too. So the thing when it comes to blog, really the focus should be that my content has to be so good, right? And let me quickly, because I have 10 minutes, let me show you how you can get a good content out there and how you can share it to get those eyeballs, right? The most important thing right now, your title has to be very interesting in order for people to catch the attention of your content. So there's a website called Tweak My Biz. Let me see if I can find it. Tweak My Biz. Okay, so here we go. Tweak My Biz, and there's an option called Title Generator. Okay, so there you go. tweakmybiz.com/tools/title-generator. Okay, so here if I type yoga, for example, click submit. Now, Tweak My Biz or your biz will give me, look at all these titles. These are like interesting titles, like list. Apply these 10 secret techniques to improve yoga. For example, best yoga Android apps, or there's so many cool titles for you. See that?
That's amazing.
Are you embarrassed by your yoga skills? Here's what to do.
That's
Question bank.
perfect.
So this will give you some ideas on what kind of interesting topic you need to bring in for your blog content. Secondly, you can use Google Alerts, which is a free service. You can use Google Alerts, and you can put a keyword and within your niche and find out what popular content out there that is coming out, and Google will send you those information. You can use those content for your social media sharing, like content curation, or you can use it to rewrite your blog post. Another one is my favorite. It's called the BuzzSumo. Okay, I love BuzzSumo. They're not free. They have a small version. You can use it for free. So let's say within 24 hours, I want to know what kind of content out there in the social media world that is popular, right? Let's see, still thinking here. Sorry about my connection. So, oops, that was fast. So within 24 hours, for the keyword content marketing, it shows Seth Blogs, Wedding Syndrome has 800 Facebook share, 200 LinkedIn share, 1.2 thousand Twitter share, 1 Pinterest, 23 Google Plus, content and say building linkable content. You see, all these are popular content, right? In real time, within 24 hours. So I can look at the title, make something similar, or I can read this content and put my own, my own knowledge to it. Because like in my industry, and Frank, sometimes our content are oversaturated, but what we try to do, we try to put our own spin to be a little bit different, right? So this will also help it to come with something amazing, something that your audience will enjoy, okay? So I would use those three tools, Tweak Your Biz, Google Alerts, and BuzzSumo to kind of find out what kind of topic I'm gonna write out there that can hopefully make my audience find me, okay? And make sure before you write any blog post, don't write it for the search engine, write it for your audience. And let it come from your heart and write it for your audience. Make sure it's so amazing that when somebody reads it, they're gonna comment, they're gonna share. Does that make sense? And you also have to make sure when we say your content has to be valuable, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that, it has to be valuable to your audience. That means they're gonna take action on it, or they'll feel good about it. Something will give value to them. Does that make sense? So you always have to come from that perspective. You don't wanna just put something for the sake of the information only. You're gonna put something that they're going to apply and implement. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. This has been phenomenal, Yusuf. You've done amazing, great work with us. Sue Fish, by the way, big welcome to Bonnie Anderson. We got some new names in here. LaDon Love, Lou Boyoid, Marnie, thank you so much for being here. Melissa Guffey, Natasha, thank you so much. Nicole Gaines, Rachel Page, Sigma Smith, hey, how you doing? Taj Williams, Tracy's in here twice, and she's probably on one device and on the other following along to get this done right, because I know she's an action taker. So yes, there will be a replay for a few hours, for a few days, and then this is gonna go into my vault, and this will be put in one of my programs at the right particular point. So Yusuf, somebody that's gonna watch this in the future from my tribe is gonna be going through an email course and building up their business and doing little things like getting a domain. The next day they'll write like a blog, and then the next day they'll go through some training with this, and they'll probably watch this with you. So if they're interested in working with you, finding out more information about you, follow me, guys. Yusuf is my boy. Like, I listen to Yusuf. I get a lot of my hacks from Yusuf. So make sure you guys utilize him. He's a phenomenal resource to the business. How can they get Yusufied, bro?
Yeah, I have to get Yusufied. Y'all been Yusufied today. So make sure you connect with me in Facebook or Twitter. Just connect with me. Ask me a question anytime. I love to help, and I do love to see other people succeed. So this is my way of paying it forward. So don't feel shy. Ask any question. If I don't answer, just give me at least till next day. But for sure, I do answer. But just contact me anytime. Just hook me up. Get connected to my Facebook, and just let me know you came to this webinar with Frank, and that's how I'm going to add you. Because when I get to strangers, I don't just add anyone. Okay. So make sure that you are part of the webinar, and we can add you. And if you have any question, you can ask Frank. He's very knowledgeable in his industry. I've seen all his other amazing stuff out there. You can also ask me, and we'll definitely be happy to take care of you from there.
You got it. You got it. Yeah, Mitch says, look for my invite after the webinar. Awesome, awesome. Yusuf, man, you always come through. Thank you so much for helping me serve my tribe. Again, look, you got Melissa sending you a request right now. That's amazing.
Already.
Please reach out to my boy. He's great. Yusuf, I can't wait for you and I to do something in person when I'm in America at some point in the next year or so.
That's good, man, for sure. We need to collaborate. We need to help as many people as we can. That's the whole thing. And like in San Antonio in 2012, I started this meetup, which eventually became a non-for-profit. It's called the San Antonio Online Marketing Group. So we actually teach startup and small businesses how to use everything from online marketing, from Facebook ad, Google AdWords, SEO, how to outsource everything, just to help them to get on their feet.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Yusuf, I'm gonna let you go because I know you got some stuff to get down, but thanks a lot for everybody for joining in. Make sure you guys message Yusuf, make sure you tweet him, make sure you tell everybody in the Talent Tribe how valuable this training was, because we had a packed house here, but honestly, there should have been a lot more people to pick this up. We had about maybe 80 people sign up, and we had about maybe 30 people show, and about 20 to 25 people stayed on for the majority of the thing. Like, this was a really high valuable topic. So thanks again.
And here's the thing, Frank. If the tribe needs help, let's do this again. If they need part 2 or part 3 or part 4, let's keep continuing to do a webinar like that. So to provide the best value we can to the community.
For sure. And Tracy needs a web developer. So Tracy, I would reach out to Yusuf. Yusuf knows his stuff. All right. So Tracy, look out for my boy. That's a cosign right there. Yusuf, thanks again. And everybody in Talent Tribe, thanks so much for taking action on your business. This training was a phenomenal training, but this is only a training, guys. If you don't take the action behind what we just showed you, like Yusuf is a $500 per hour minimum consultant to executives, small and medium-sized businesses, and Fortune 500 companies. Like, Yusuf is a big deal in the marketing world, and he gave so much of his expertise here. So please accept and receive that gift and pay it forward by paying yourself forward, by putting yourself in a position.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to say before I end up, a lot of people ask questions to seek some help, and Frank, put this awesome value right here. My only advice is, when you take this knowledge, apply it, because if you don't apply it, then you become like an asshole. Don't be an asshole, okay? So take the knowledge and apply it and move on, because we're here to help you too. So if you get stuck, ask us and we'll be happy to show you where you need to go.
Awesome. Adios, guys. Have a great night in America.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Take care.